I just want to make a demonstration of how a part of the emission controls works on a 280Z, a Datsun 280Z from 1975. This uses a charcoal canister, this thing right here, to absorb fuel fumes that come in through this line. This line goes all the way back to the fuel tank. The tank is sealed in that the gas cap seals it, but it has a vent hole that lets air go into the tank but doesn't let it vent out. That's the first thing. So air can go in, fumes cannot come out. The fumes come out through here and are collected inside this charcoal canister, where they get stuck into the carbon matrix down there, or the carbon granules, or whatever it uses. But after a while, you need to get those fumes out, and so what it does is it's stored in the charcoal until a time when the engine is running, and there's two lines here. This large line goes to your intake manifold, and it has a constant vacuum on it, like 17 inches of mercury, but it doesn't constantly just suck here, otherwise you have this big air leak and a vacuum leak. So what happens is this goes to a vacuum actuated switch. So there's a vacuum here, but it doesn't go into the canister unless the switch turns on and opens up a port that lets it suck the fumes out and get burned in the engine. This is the switch activating line. It's called ported vacuum. It comes off the bottom of the throttle body and only has vacuum when the throttle plate is in a certain position. So to demonstrate this, I thought it'd be cool to this canister, by the way, is not a stock canister. The bottom of it is sealed on the bottom, and there's a port, and that's where I have this vacuum line currently hooked up to. I don't think you can see it. Let me turn the light. If you look there, you'll see the port I'm talking about. It's right here. Right here, and that's where the vacuum line plugs in. Okay? So we're going into the bottom of the canister. Normally on the stock one, it's open and there's a paper filter there. It's just open to the atmosphere. Here it's open to the atmosphere as long as there's nothing plugged into that open hole, that open port. So let's start the engine and we'll make some observations. Roll the window down, it's a lot easier that way. Okay. We'll start by starting the engine. No vacuum. Okay. Now, since the cap is on the tank, it will allow a little bit of air to draw through, but not much. We should be able to build a little bit of a vacuum here when this manifold line opens up and pulls air through this canister. Typically the air would come to the bottom of the canister from the outside atmosphere, drawing through the charcoal and burning it. But since I have it plugged up to the meter, that port is closed. So let's see if we can develop a vacuum inside the canister. Now remember, the ported vacuum is only actuated when the throttle plate moves. You can see how it wants to create a vacuum in here. It's probably pulling air through the fuel tank. It's going to create a less than perfect seal because of the outside vent. Pull the vacuum, drawing those fumes up through it. So what we'll do next, for fun, we'll show how it actually works. So I can do this off with my hand in the, there we go. So now, let's take a look at each line. We'll start with the ported vacuum line. Now let's see. do this. Okay, now we're going to do the ported vacuum. This is the switch. You see how the wind comes on for a moment there. So only when that vacuum exists is this valve right here going to open and close. What is it going to open and close to? This will be an air leak, so it might. Here we go. So now here's our vacuum, our manifold vacuum. So this is all there most of the time. Okay, but that's always being applied here. But you'll notice if this switch was stuck open, listen to the engine. Vacuum leak. Vacuum leak. So we'll put that back on. And we'll put that back on. And now the system's fully functional again. Anyway, I just want to demo how that's supposed to work. In case anybody has an emission system, they want to keep it working properly. That's how it works. More later. Thanks for watching.